sort of blinding fact is not obstruction, but the lack of experience, the lack of qualifications for Ronny, Dr. Jackson.
What?
He had no experience managing a large bureaucracy. He had no experience with the Veterans Administration. And there's questions about the amount of vetting that he went through by the Trump White House before the nomination was made. It looked like it was largely based on the fact.
People say that they've had a lot of very qualified people running big, large organizations at the VA before, and the VA has not performed up to task, Kimberly. Yeah. What do you think about the president's use of obstruction? It sounds like it's been poll tested, and I think he believes that word works very well.
Yes, he poll tested it with himself, and he likes it. I think it's true, and it works. And it is. They're acting like obstructionists. They're really only hurting the fine men and women that serve in the military.
Your face is an obstruction.
That really want to get some quality medical care and health care, and they want somebody that they can look up to and be able to make sure that they can get the services they need. Well, if the bureaucrats and the people with managerial experience have done such a fine job before, why is the VA in such shambles? Perhaps it was right to take a fresh look at somebody that was trusted over 12 years, taking care of one of the most powerful people in the country, former presidents and the current president, who served admirably. Okay, this is someone who served his country, has done an outstanding job, and they allowed reputational smears. And make no question, politics was at play here, because this came from within, like the VA and people on the inside, a couple of them trying to smear the reputation of this fine doctor, this admiral, with no regard to what it would do to his reputation, his career, and his life. Faceless, nameless. It's not something innocent say they just came forward to be able to trust their senators. This is about protecting other people that want to preserve their job within the VA. So this is the swamp at its murkiest.
It's part of the swamp, unless you might want to. But American Legion people said they didn't. I mean, that's like 20% of the veterans said they don't approve of this.
I'm not talking about that's an approval question, not a specific allegation question.
Right. And so, Greg, this is why we don't have good people in D.C. working, because it's, you get smeared or you have to have political experience.
Yeah, but you have to be a certain person if you are nominated in a Republican administration, a better person than if you were nominated in a Democratic administration. Because when you're in a Republican administration, it's 2 against 1. It's Democrats and the media. If you're being nominated in a Democratic administration, the math is all you got to worry about is the Republicans, because the media doesn't care. They're not going to waste their time with you. They're happy that you're there. And I'm always sympathetic. Even if there were questions about Jackson, I'm always sympathetic to the target, because the target is never perfect. He or she is always human. And they live a life as a human. They don't live a life as a perfect person, because they're never really thinking that they're going to be president.
And there's no such thing as a perfect person, except...
But wait, I just want to...
And Jasper.
I just think that the problem we're seeing right now is we're seeing achievement moderated by the mob. Fewer people are going to want to do this sort of thing. They'd rather just keep their head down to avoid getting whacked.
That's true, and he got whacked pretty hard.
I don't disagree with anything that anyone has said. If I could just make a couple of points. I'm very fond of Dr. Jackson.
Yes.
Know him well. I do think that the Republicans and the conservatives for years have used media bias as a crutch. And it is true. There is bias. So that's why you have to just be smarter than them. And I do think that if they had just asked the president to give them 24 hours to just run this by a couple of people and really talk to Dr. Jackson and understand, are you sure you really want to go through this? Is there anything that could possibly come up? Talk to a couple of senators. Then they wouldn't have had this situation today. And as to obstruction, I agree there are some problems. But today the president got confirmed as Secretary of State. Rick Grinnell, the ambassador to Germany. 19 total people got confirmed today under the leadership of Mitch McConnell for the president. There is some responsibility to put forward nominees that you think can get approved. Unless you want to have nomination fights. Nomination fights can help you politically, but if you really want to help solve the problem, you got to actually put forward people that can get confirmed and are willing to go through the process. I may make a recommendation for a possible nominee for VA Secretary. Former Senator Dr. Tom Coburn of Oklahoma. I think that there would be no question about him as qualifications. I don't think there'd be any question about him getting confirmed. Former senators usually do get confirmed.
I would say, what about Merrick Garland?
There goes
Merrick Garland. That's obstruction.
The trial balloon that Dana just floated. The president is telling Fox News about his new connection with Kanye West, and has everybody talking. Greg takes it on next.
And the safety for most parallel parking job goes to Emily LaPierre from Ames, Iowa.
This is Emily's third nomination and the first win.
Wow. First of all, to my fellow nominees, it is an honor sharing the road with you. And of course, to the Progressive Snapshot app for giving good drivers the discounts, for giving good drivers the discounts they deserve. Safe driving!
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com.
Everybody has a visor in their car, but a visor in the wrong place can actually make it harder to see.
Nick Walton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call it TAC Visor.
Inspired by the face shields used by our American fighter pilots,
TAC Visor can do things no ordinary visor can do.
like block blinding glare without blocking your view. So invisible dangers suddenly become visible, and enhanced colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's. The secret is Bell & Howell's light filtering technology. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our TAC visor. Our colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing.
Think it's a trick? Bring it in, guys. Well, check out what happens when I show it to these people. Hop in. Look at that windshield. Tell me what you see.
A blank screen?
Just a blank screen.
Nothing blank.
We'll put down the TAC visor and take a look again.
Whoa, what the? That is amazing.
That's crazy.
How does it do that?
Best of all, TAC visor is easy to install on any car. Simply slide to adjust, and in just seconds, ready to rock and roll. So, if you need to block blinding glare without blocking your view, then you need a Bell & Howell TAC visor.
There's just nothing like it on the market today.
Act now to get a TAC visor for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. Only a TAC visor features Bell & Howell's precision and quality, and is backed by our lifetime guarantee. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade you to our 2-in-1 TAC visor. Just pay a separate fee. When the sun goes down, use the night vision visor to improve visibility and block dangerous glare from oncoming headlights. This offer won't last long, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
To order, call 1-800-964-7339 or go to tacvisor.com. That's 1-800-964-7339 or order online at tacvisor.com. That's 1-800-964-7339. This is Laura, and Butch, and Tank, and Tiny, and this is Laura's Mobile Dog Grooming Palace. Laura can clean up a retriever that rolled in foxtails, but she's not much on articles of organization.
Articles of what?
So she turned to LegalSim.
They help me out.
She means we help with her LLC, trademark, and a lot of other legal stuff that's part of running a business. So Laura can get back to the dogs.
I just sit still.
This is Laura's Mobile Dog Grooming Palace, and this is where life meets legal.
Why is Old Dominion #1 in customer satisfaction? Maybe it's OD's over 99% on-time rate, or our decades of supply chain experience that support the dynamic digital marketplace. Or because when we promise something, we keep our promise. The reason OD is #1 in customer satisfaction is our people who never stop working to make your shipping easier. Old Dominion, helping the world keep promises.
It's day 5 of the Kanye apocalypse. And just as predicted, if you step out of the box, the others still in jail will turn on you.
So now Donald Trump has 2 black friends. I hope Ben Carson doesn't get jealous.
But I don't even know what happened here. I think Kanye West just realized he's too rich to not be Republican. I don't even know what it is.
We have the right to independent thought, and I independently think that Kanye has lost his mind.
What an overreaction. You think the guy advocated for child marriage. But it's just like high school, isn't it? The person who won't act like everyone else gets the shaft. Isn't it odd that Hollywood lectures us on bullying and diversity, but when it comes right down to it, they're groupthink enforcers, intolerant of individuality? So why is that? It's the curse, again, of identity politics, which puts the group before the person. Also behind the mockery is a fear that their target might be onto something, and the mockers are being left behind. When someone dares to be different in a way that comes with a cost, you either reevaluate your own choices or seek to silence him or her. Which leads me to another criticism, that those on the right lauding Kanye would rip him apart if his comments were left-wing. What if it was about needing more gun control? It's actually a fair point, except it misses the big picture. What Kanye's doing, unlike that position, isn't a reflection of the same conventional assumptions that get great press. No, this is a daring move because it goes against that very tide. Thus, it's one that costs you capital, support from your entertainment pals, and even record sales. He didn't join a parade. He left a prison, and he's paying for it. But maybe that's why Kanye did it. He realized that he could absorb the slings and arrows that others couldn't. Who does that remind you of? And not Donald Trump.
Me?
Yes, you just. I was going to say it was going to rhyme with Yeezus. It rhymes with Yeezus.
Okay.
Anyway, you want to hear what Donald Trump had to say? It's pretty sure. Yeah.
You're comparing.
No, I'm saying, yeah, he suffered the slings. He is risking himself for the good of others.
I mean, I was like with you all the way. Jesus.
No, I find it, people talk about looking for people who are Christ-like. The guy's willing to sacrifice a lot of himself for others.
He can laugh at himself.
I welcome the laughter because I'm also sacrificing myself.
Yeah. You don't even believe in Jesus.
Well, I don't.
He believes in Jesus, though.
Jesus.
And
this is too much.
I know. I did that for you, Juan. I did that for you.
You put him over the edge.
I did. I'm pushing him. All right. Okay. Let's go to this. Donald Trump talking about Kanye.
I get along with Kanye. I get along with a lot of people, frankly. But Kanye looks and he sees black unemployment at the lowest it's been in the history of our country, okay? He sees that stuff, and he's smart. And he says, you know what? Trump is doing a much better job than the Democrats did. When I see a Kanye sticking to his guns, or when I see others, and there are plenty of others, sticking to their guns and coming out and saying it.
Dana?
Well, one of the things that I've learned today is that if your point about getting kicked out of your tribe is that, do you know that he was actually, they said that Kanye was part of the alt-right.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this is preposterous that he's part of the alt-right. And you know how I feel about him in terms of the past. And I'm willing to let it go. Conservatives have been saying similar things for many, many years. Sometimes in terms of politics and public policy, timing is everything. This is an opening, and if President Trump can take it, go for it.
That's the thing. It feels like a possibility for something.
I mean, I hate to take issue with the president of the United States. I doubt Kanye is looking at black unemployment and saying, you know what, it's a Trump tax cut policy. I just think Kanye likes controversy, and Kanye likes to move outside of the box, and it works. He's an independent thinker. He's not afraid to take the slings and arrows. This is not about politics. Kanye's admitted he's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. I think he honestly just likes Trump.
What's wrong with that?
I think he respects Trump and he likes him, and he's not afraid to get out of that lane and say he likes the guy, and he's not going to listen to the mob say you have to hate this guy. He respects individuality, and when an individual gets out of line, the mob comes down and slams you. He's been called mentally ill. He's been called a sellout. He's been called everything. They've been mocking him on late night. He doesn't care, though. And I think that's what makes Kanye different. It makes him have that dragon energy. The way that Trump has.
Could I just throw that? This is a tweet from Chance the Rapper. Black people don't have to be Democrats. All right, that doesn't necessarily mean they have to be Republicans, Juan, but isn't it? Could you interpret that tweet as saying that he wants the Democrats to improve their party? Do not take us for granted.
Sure. So don't ignore us as Republicans do. Don't take for granted. That's the old saying. But in the case of Kanye West, this guy, I mean, he said that while Obama called him a jerk for his being rude to Taylor Swift, and when he was in the hospital, when he was addicted to opioids, who invited him? It was Donald Trump. So that's the basis. There's no policy. There's no substance. So when you talk about getting out of the box,
what's wrong with that?
Well, there is a little substance. He said, "What has Obama done for Chicago?"
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's done nothing. Yeah. So this is when it comes to substance. This guy has nothing. This is the guy, in fact, who said Cosby was innocent. This is the guy who condemned George W. Bush. You guys are suddenly flocking to him because it's convenient. Like, why you would take him seriously, I have no idea.
Well, you know what? I don't know why wouldn't you take him seriously?
Because he's not a serious person.
Why
He's like a provocateur.
That's your opinion, but he's actually a serious businessman. He's hugely successful. No, you don't know, because I don't think you're very familiar with his background.
I don't care about business. We're talking politics. He's endorsing a president.
And he's entitled to have his opinion, like anybody is.
Build it.
No, you're trying to diminish him because when he's a
I'm not diminishing him. The guy was in the hospital. He says the basis is
why do you trivialize? So that's a basis to totally disregard and just debase an individual to say that they have mental illness problems, so they should be discounted in their opinion. I just think that's a very myopic, short-sighted viewpoint, and it's not very fair. He's somebody that you should say, listen, go ahead and say what you want to say, give your opinion. He was invited over to Trump Tower. He was at the transition, and they had a meeting. Maybe they did talk about business. Maybe they did talk about immigration. You don't know. You're not a mind reader if you weren't there.
This is a matter that seems to me to be so trivial. But again, in the era of people being shot at Waffle House,
I stick up for people's rights to express themselves.
Now we're talking about Waffle House. We got to move on. All right. The president had a lot more to say about his fired FBI director after watching James Comey on TV last night. Hear that.
Prudential asked these couples, how much money do you think you'll need in retirement? Then we found out how many years that money would last them. How do you think we'll keep it?
Leave me back here at year 9?
How did this happen? It turned out a lot of people fell short of even the average length of retirement.
We have to think about not when we expect to live to, but when we could live to.
Let's plan for income that lasts all our years of retirement.
Prudential, bring your challenges.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable after just 4 months, with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Tell your doctor if these occur. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Other side effects include upper respiratory tract infection and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Peeling hard-boiled eggs is such a hassle. It takes forever and makes such a mess. Now make hard-boiled eggs the fast and easy way. Introducing Egglets, the new silicone sensation that lets you cook hard-boiled eggs without the shell. Just crack open the egg into the Egglets pot, twist on the top, and boil on your stovetop. In minutes, pop them out of the pot for perfect hard-boiled eggs. No hassle, no mess. The secret is the thermodynamic non-stick silicone material that allows the egg to cook just like it would inside the shell. No broken egg whites and no peeling. Now that's appealing. Make delicious deviled eggs, tasty egg salad. Make a mouth-watering chef salad without ever peeling an egg. Crack, boil, and pop with Egglets for perfect hard-boiled eggs every time. And Egglets is great for soft-boiled eggs, too. Add cheese, onions, mushrooms, peppers, all your favorite vegetables for delicious omelets. Make an egg white omelet or use egg substitutes for healthy cholesterol-free food. Create fun-filled breakfast the little ones will love. Make Egglets in advance and put in the fridge. Ideal for
who gonna eat some Egglets?
Power-packed snack. Easy to clean, dishwasher-safe Egglets. Don't waste your time picking and peeling hard-boiled shells.
Ooh, I want some Egglets.
Boil and pop with Egglets.
Boil and pop.
Hard-boiled eggs without the hassle. Get your trio of Egglets for just $14.99. But wait, call now.
But wait,
your offer.
you get pop, pop, pop. More Egglets. I want some Egglets.
Only $14.99. And in this exclusive TV offer, you'll get the microwave egg cooker to make on-the-go egg muffins in just
Egg muffins.
You get it all for $14.99.
You get egg McMuffins.
Order today.
To order your Egglets, call 1-800-713-6135. That's 1-800-713-6135. Or you can visit online at GetEgglets.com. That's GetEgglets.com.
GetEgglets.com.
Today.
Give it to me.
Experiment, Dance. There he is. Here I am. At Nick's Warehouse, our expert stylist will bring you up to date. The packages including a shirt and tire pocket square.
Significant. So one little discrepancy of did he stay a night or did he not stay a night? To me, even if it's a he said, fine. But that doesn't discredit the broader story of Comey's recollections of the meetings with Donald Trump.
Also, can we just take a step back and talk about the tone that we just heard from the president? Never mind that the president of the United States just called in to a cable news show that he likes to watch.
30 minutes.
Called in for 30 minutes, okay? Take that aside as, that is not a typical scenario. But the tone, he was yelling. He was so agitated. You can almost picture him red in the face. And that was the sort of the theme and the thing that we heard from him throughout most of the phone call. That is not a president when you're talking about the person who America and people around the world look to for leadership and calm and to sort of in control. That is not the kind of MO that generally a president wants to give up. One thing if you're a candidate, one thing if you're on the campaign trail and you're kind of trying to be you. This is the president of the United States screaming into the phone on a cable news show.
And to Dana's point, just quickly, Dana's point, they had to rush him
off the
They were pushing, the anchors were saying, all right, Mr. President, okay, you probably should go. And he keeps talking. And they say, well, you've got a lot of important things. I mean, that in and of itself, sorry.
Yeah, and I think it's a glimpse of the Donald Trump at night, right? When he's calling around and talking to friends and venting. I think that's in a way what we got. It was almost Donald Trump on the couch, just venting over and over and over with all of his grievances for 30 minutes. I think people who like Donald Trump probably liked it in some way. Some people tweeted to essentially say, this is what we want from Donald Trump. This is what we like. Some of his.
I'm only guessing because I've been on the receiving end of the interview that's going on and on and on. And I want it to go on. And the person who's doing the interview wants it to go on, but that person's handler is going to say, end it. And they're calling into the producers, end the interview, end the interview, end the interview. I suspect that may have happened this time as well.
Yeah, he almost bolstered the credibility of James Comey, who often spoke about one of the reasons he does not believe in the president or is distrustful of him is because he often addresses points no one has asked him about. And he is very, very adamant and vehement about the fact that what he did not do and what he says he did not do just magnifies that particular claim. Also, you're right about the slippery slope. If you're going to parse out certain things that are accurate and other things that are not, that's really a problem. But the main thing here is, too, these are contemporaneously drafted memos. Now, that's important because we give a lot of credence in the court of law to things that are written close in time to the event. We think it's much more trustworthy, but also they were written before. That's the key word here. Before he was fired, before he had the axe to grind, presumably, and before he had any motivation to tell the wrong thing or lie. Those are all important considerations here.
I remember at one point the president thought maybe there was tapes.
Right.
There weren't tapes. Lordy, I hope there's tapes. Remember when Comey said that contemporaneously is very important, especially by a then FBI director. Stick around. There's more news. The EPA chief, Scott Pruitt, is fighting for his job as allegations of unethical behavior pile up. Does President Trump have his back?
What will you discover with the Ultimate Lens Package by Essilor? Sharper vision without limits. Days that go from sun up to sun down. A whole world in all its beauty. 3 innovative technologies for our ultimate in vision, clarity, and protection. Together in a single lens. The Ultimate Lens Package by Essilor. Better sight, better life.
Have you been told you need neck or back surgery? If so, you do have a choice. Call Laser Spine Institute and say yes to a pain-free life with our minimally invasive spine surgery. It's safer than open back surgery, letting you get back to living life on your terms.
I can lift my son high over my head again.
If you have spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic spine conditions,
call 1-800-857-BACK now for your free MRI review.
Thanks to a less than 1-inch incision, you'll be up and walking within hours of surgery, so you can get back to your life in days instead of months.
I feel like Laser Spine Institute was an answer to prayer.
Join the thousands of people every year who say goodbye to chronic neck and back pain with Laser Spine Institute. Make today the day you say yes to living a pain-free life.
Call 1-800-857-BACK now for your free MRI review.
4 officers charged as Rodney King and another cop not guilty.
What happens? They're both fighting the police, and neighborhood boys are running there. That's my voice.
King's Rated R starts tomorrow. Duncan just protected his family with a $500,000 life insurance policy. How much do you think it cost him? $100 a month? 75? 50? Actually, Duncan got his $500,000 for
I bet Duncan did.
$100 a month.
Less than a. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, they help cover some of what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you an out-of-pocket.
I don't care what they cost.
So don't wait. Call to request your free decision guide and gather the information now to help you choose a plan.
Thanks, guys.
Types of plans let you pick any doctor or hospital that take.
Give your family this range of plans to choose from.
Look at Lex. Thanks, guys.
Your budget. So if you're turning 65 soon, call now and get started. Because the time to think about tomorrow is today. Go along.
No, it's not going to work.
Doesn't
And
show a lot
to
of
go
support
to
difference.
DA
Expired prescription.
The preparation is a good sign that the top leader is behind it. So that is welcome news.
When he spoke at the press conference on Tuesday, Donald Trump said that for him, denuclearization was exactly that, getting rid of the nukes. And I can't think of an analyst that we've had on this program.
Getting rid of the nukes.
Well,
I don't think they're getting rid of no nukes.
The definition of denuclearization for both sides is different. For the United States, is that Kim is going to dismantle his weapons. He's not going to do that. He may freeze them.
Exactly.
He may freeze missile, nuclear weapons, and then he'll probably haggle a lot on inspections and verification. That's where we should let him off the hook. But maybe a long-term denuclearization he's ready to do. But if that's the case, he's going to ask for a lot in return. If we thought the Marshall Plan was very costly after World War II, wait till you hear what the North Koreans asked for.
Do you think, in the words of Donald Trump, that Kim Jong-un is truly an open and honorable man?
Well, you know, he goes from one extreme to the other. This is what's dangerous. You know, whatever the president is feeling when he's tweeting, that's not how you conduct foreign policy. I don't think necessarily those characterizations are accurate either way. What Kim Jong-un has done is become an international pariah, a rabble-rouser, and he's now trying to be a statesman. And he's doing quite well. I think he's been underestimated. The diplomacy with South Korea, the diplomacy with China, the meeting in China. Now Donald Trump, you know, he has an agenda. He knows what he wants to do. The danger is that my president, Donald Trump, won't be prepared, won't be ready, will raise expectations too high. But I think him meeting with Kim Jong-un, and I give credit to the president for doing that. That is the right step right now, because things on the Korean Peninsula could.
Yeah, they two degenerates. Two degenerates that's going to meet each other and talk about going to the strip club.
This week, an attack on pedestrians in Toronto killed 10 people. Crime shocked the country while underlining the diverse nature of Canadian society. At the heart of that image is a housing project, which the BBC's Lise Doucette has gone to visit in Toronto's Regent Park.